it is important to understand that not everyone who is exposed to or infected with COVID will develop an active clinical disease or progress beyond mild symptoms, that is requiring oxygen support or hospitalization or having an oxygen saturation below 94%. Now, the difference between the people who develop and moderate or severe disease and in those who do not develop a moderate and severe disease or do not go beyond mild symptoms is that the immune system of patients whose immune system is alert, whose immune response is prompt and robust, they will not progress beyond mild symptoms. In patients or people in whom the immune system is not alert or the immune response is delayed and therefore impaired, allowing the virus to proliferate, multiply and form colonies and affect large parts of the respiratory tissue, these are the patients who are likely to progress to moderate or severe forms of the disease. So, the difference is essentially the alertness and the promptness with immune system response. Now, unfortunately, from outside it is very difficult to assess how alert or how prompt your immune system will respond, and a test which measures this alertness, that is the lymphoproliferative test, is not routinely available in the routine pathological laboratories, is available essentially in specialized research laboratories only. Now, in people in whom the immune responses are impaired and therefore delayed, what happens is that the virus which has infected the respiratory tissue, because the main portal of entry for the COVID virus is the respiratory tissue, what happens is the moment one gets infected, this virus, if there is no immune response from the body, from the host, then this virus will multiply unabated, unopposed and form colonies throughout the respiratory tract. Now, when this process happens in the alveoli or the air sacs where the actual transfer of carbon dioxide and oxygen is taking place, when this tissue gets infected, this part of the respiratory tract gets affected, initially there will be a lot of cells which are dying. These cells will form a debris clogging the alveoli and the exchange of oxygen carbon dioxide is impeded. And in these patients, ultimately when the immune system responds in a delayed way, because there are huge viral loads, the amount of virus has proliferated, multiplied and is in the body in huge amounts. What will happen is the body's immune system will then start secreting huge amounts of pro-inflammatory cytokines or mediators of inflammation, which will cause, in addition to destruction of the infected cells, they will also, and the virus, they will also destroy the normal cellular architecture, causing more and more cell debris and clogging and difficulty in the breathing. Now, this scenario is in fact very similar would happen in case an enemy invades our own borders. If the soldiers at the border are in adequate numbers, are well trained and their communication systems is good enough, then in face of an enemy attack, our soldiers will be able to respond and repel the enemy immediately at the border itself, not allowing it to come inland. However, if we do not have adequate number of soldiers, well-trained soldiers, or our communication systems are not good enough, then the enemy, if it comes able to invade and come into our territories, the combat and the fighting that will take place will be in our territories, and the ensuing combat will destroy properties in our territories and our territories will bear the brunt of the fight. This scenario is very similar to what happens in the COVID disease in a patient in whose immune system is not good, alert or prompt. Now, when the virus proliferates and the virus loads are high, this virus will, apart from the respiratory tract, will go to other tissues and organs of the systems of our body and various cells or tissues of the human body, including the heart muscles, the blood vessels, the kidneys, the liver, small intestines, the bowels. All these tissues express the ACE2 receptor, which is the receptor allowing the virus to dock onto the cell and infect these cells. So, therefore, in an advanced disease, we are likely to see involvement of multiple organ involvement and multiple organ complications, and that is exactly are seeing in severe COVID disease.